Hello students. Uh, as kinetic theory of the matter, that chapter is completed yesterday, and I'm just taking today the conceptual problem related to that topics. There were the number of the topics in the kinetic theory, like we have seen the kinetic model and pressure due to walls of the container, or also number of laws in laws of ideal gas, and also law of equipartition of energy, Maxwell speed of this. So there can be a number of questions that are related to this topic, and I've already told you that this here I have shown you the connection between two branch of physics, and how can we connect them, how can we understand that. So there can be a number of conceptual problems, so that's why in that chapter I am going to take that. So let's see them one by one. So the first question is, atoms are not point masses, as kinetic theory tells us that atoms are just like the point masses, but as I told you, in real way atoms are not point masses, they have some size, so that's why we cannot consider them. So what is the simplest evidence in nature? How can we say that the kinetic model is wrong, that are not point masses? So the evidence is the Brownian motion. Brownian movement cannot be until there is some size of the suspended particles of gas, means there should be a size of some suspended particles, so to obtain the Brownian motion. So obviously, as you know, that in case of gas we observe the Brownian motion, we observe zigzag motion, random motion, then definitely that random motion is possible when there are some size of atoms there, and due to that size we can say that they are not point masses easily. So Brownian motion is the simplest evidence to prove it that atoms are not point masses. Clear? And the second question is related to Brownian movement. That is, in Brownian movement, what should be the typical size of suspended particle and why? As I told you that in Brownian movement there should be some size of. So in second question we were discussing about the size of the suspended particles in case of colloidal solution, or size of the atoms in case of gases, or size of molecules. That's there should be some order of that, means there should be some order of the size of them, because without it we cannot detect the Brownian motion. So just like in first question I have just explained you, because gases shows Brownian motion, so that's why and atoms also shows. So atoms cannot be of point masses, they must have some size, and that is the proved by the Brownian motion movement. And in case of Brownian motion, the typical size of suspended particle, that is nearly 10 power 6 meter. Means if the nearly 10 power 6 meter size any atom or any molecule or any suspended particles have, then that will show the Brownian motion. And if the size will be greater, then what will be the effect? If size will be smaller, then what will be the effect? So if size will be greater, then due to greater size of suspended particles, they will have large inertia. So due to their inertia property, they will oppose the motion of the particle for the movement of the particle. So after collision there will not be any movement, means we will not detect any Brownian motion, and particle will not show definitely Brownian motion due to large inertia. So that's why the bigger particles cannot show the Brownian motion due to inertia. And if the size is too small, then what will be case? So if the size of the particle is too small, that means that they will be nearly like the point masses. So in that case, the momentum imparted by the particles on after collision, that due to neighboring particles, that if we calculate the net momentum imparted by them, that will be zero in case of very small mass, like just like we have seen the case of ideal gas, in which there the atoms or molecules are just like the point masses. So in case of point masses, particles or very small particles, suspended particles, the motion is very rapid and they are continually colliding, and they are imparting momentum, and their momentum changes, and if we calculate the net change in momentum, that becomes zero. So finally we cannot say there is any movement of the particles in that sense. So here means Brownian motion is observable, is countable only there is a certain size of the atoms, molecules or suspended particles that should be of the order of 10 power minus 6 meter. So I think that two questions are clear to you, why the atoms are not point masses and why the Brownian motion is shown by some typical atoms or molecules that have the this order only. Clear? So third question is we have that is related to law of ideal gases and other. So that is, a box contain equal number of molecules of hydrogen and oxygen. So means we have a box in which we have taken two gases, oxygen and hydrogen, and they have equal number of molecules. So if there is a fine hole in that box, then which gas will leak rapidly? Means if there are two gases in the box, then one of the gas will will leak rapidly, then which of the gas can be which can leak rapidly? So this can be the answer of this question can be given by the law of Graham's law of diffusion. So according to Graham's law of diffusion, you know that the rate of diffusion, that is inversely proportional to the density of the gas. So if we have two gases, means R is inversely proportional to the density. So we can write an expression for hydrogen and oxygen easily. So that suppose that this is RH upon RO. Obviously that will be actually root of this. Okay. So we can observe from here, that is rho O upon rho H. Okay. So this root of inversely proportional here. So in this value is obtained like that, and its value is in rho O upon rho H. If you calculate the density of these two gases, and density can be calculated with the help of mass per unit volume, and with the help of that we will be able to calculate that the density of oxygen, that will be greater than the density of hydrogen. So obviously this value will be greater than 1. Clear? So if this value is greater than 1, so with the help of this formula we can write easily RH, that will be greater than RO. So here we are seeing that rate of diffusion for hydrogen, that is greater than the oxygen. So definitely if rate of the hydrogen is greater, then hydrogen will leak rapidly from the hole of the box. So we can solve such types of conceptual problems easily with the help of gas law, and you just have to think about that what can be effect here, what can be effect of density, mass and volume of the gases on the diffusion or other things. So just keep all basic and minor things in your mind. So after using that, you will be able to solve such types of conceptual problems. So in the next question, we have a question regarding to the ideal gas, and we have seen a number of laws that are given for the ideal gas, and we can explain the behavior of ideal gas with these law, like Boyle's law, Charles law, Gay-Lussac law, and ideal gas equation, Graham's law, Dalton's law, Avogadro hypothesis. There are a number of laws that are given to explain the nature, behavior, and other things like regarding to the ideal gases. So this is also a question regarding to that law. Uh, One by one, I just want to clear you all the concepts regarding to that. So here a graph is shown between product PV and pressure P. So here three gases are here, A, B and C. Our question is that the simple here given is that the variation of product PV with respect to P of the given mass for three gases A, B and C. So and the temperature is kept constant here. So if temperature is constant, then we have to state with proper augment which of these gas is ideal. So first don't see this graph, only see the content of the question, what is question is saying. Here in question the condition is given temperature is constant. So if temperature is constant, then you know that ideal gas can be explained by the Boyle's law. So as the Boyle's law tells us that Pb is constant at constant temperature. So if temperature is kept constant, then Pb should be constant, and Pb is constant as you are seeing that for curve C. This is constant with means with variation in pressure there is no effect on C. So that's why here the ideal gas will be C. And in case of gas A and B, as you are seeing that here the value of Pb is increasing with increase in pressure. So definitely this is not this not follows this condition. So that's why this will not be ideal gas. And also in case of B, this is decreasing with the increase in pressure. So here a relationship between Pb and P. So obviously it is not following this case. So that's why it will not also ideal gas. So here the in these three graphs, C represent the ideal gas, and we can explain it easily with the help of Boyle's law. So first I have just tell you that don't directly see this graph, only first see the statement and try to see which law can be applicable here, or through which law we can understand these things. So with the help of that you will be able to give the answer of satisfactory answer of this question. So our next problem is related to kinetic model of the gases. As I have explained you a number of points that in case of kinetic model we have explained, and there were some assumptions, there was some explanation regarding to the behavior of ideal gases and the gases. So these are the question regarding to that. So first question is that two different gases have exactly the same temperature. Does this mean that their molecules have the same RMS speed? So it is given that we have two gases and they are kept at the same temperature. So what will be the condition for the RMS speed? Means RMS speed for that two gases will be same or not? So as you know that the RMS speed is given by under root 3 kT by m. So if temperature is kept constant, then obviously there will be the variation of C that will be with the mass of the gas. Clear? So this is the expression for the RMS speed. So with the help of this value you can easily say that here 3 is constant, K is constant, but and T is given that T is constant. So this numerator of this is totally constant. So what will be the RMS speed? That is inversely proportional to root m. So if mass of the gas will change, or means if the two gases that are of different masses, then definitely their RMS speed will be different whether the temperature is same or not. But if the temperature is same, the kinetic energy of their two gases must be same. So here you can also explain that. So as the kinetic energy is given by 3 by 2 kT with the help of kinetic model. So if here temperature is constant, then definitely this whole value will be constant. So for these two gases, the kinetic energy will be constant, but the root mean square speed that will change with the change in mass. So I think there should not be any confusion if this in this question I have asked about kinetic energy, then the answer will be yes. But if the question is for RMS speed, then the answer is no. That depends on the mass of the gases. So the second question is, why temperature less than 0 Kelvin is not possible? As I have just told you that the lowest temperature that is possible is 0 Kelvin, or in degrees Celsius 273 1 point degrees Celsius. This is the lowest temperature that can observe in nature. So what is the region beyond which the temperature cannot be possible? So as you know that with the help of this equation you can say that C is in proportional to C square is directly proportional to temperature T. So if temperature will be decreased and at 0 degree Kelvin, means at this temperature, obviously if T is equal to 0, then C will be 0. Obviously means speed of all of the molecules of gases ceases at this temperature. And if the temperature go beyond this limit, means in the minus condition, then for that obviously the velocity of the gas molecules that will be minus, and due to that you can say that exactly with the help of this expression, obviously if temperature will be minus, means 0 less than 0 Kelvin, then for that case this will be term will be minus, and means kinetic energy will be negative. And as you know that kinetic energy cannot be negative, so definitely there can be no molecule which can possess negative kinetic energy. All the molecules possess either zero kinetic energy or positive kinetic energy, means they show some effect of the motion. Negative kinetic energy is not possible in nature. So that's why there cannot be any temperature less than 0 Kelvin. This is the limit, this is the extreme condition on which all of the mostly conditions ceases at this point. But below this point the temperature cannot be possible due to negative kinetic energy. So I think there is no confusion regarding to this point, but this is a good conceptual question. And so you can think that why below this temperature is not possible. The third question is also regarding to the kinetic theory. So we have to explain the phenomena of evaporation with the help of kinetic theory. So with the help of kinetic theory, how can we explain the phenomena of evaporation? So as you know that kinetic theory tells us that molecules of gases or atoms or molecules that are possessing Brownian motion or zigzag motion, also during their movement they have a range of speed, as I've explained that thing with the help of Maxwell's speed distribution law. And you have seen that there is a variation in speed, and for that I have drawn even a curve for Maxwell's speed distribution law. So if they have the varying speed, then definitely some of the molecule or atoms will have less speed, some will have greater speed. So the molecules that are near the surface of the water that have greater speed, and if the speed is sufficient, means the kinetic energy of that molecule that is sufficient to overcome the intermolecular attraction of other gases, then that means if that is exceeds the intermolecular attraction of the other molecules, then it will escape from the surface of the liquid. So that molecule will escape, and also that will be able to move in the space freely with the help since it has some kinetic energy. So that's why evaporation process is possible due to temperature changes and other things. So I think with the help of kinetic theory we can explain it easily. Then what will be the how can we explain evaporation? So simple, in case of evaporation, as you know that molecules leave the surface of the water and it goes in the space, so that we can easily explain it because molecules have varying speed. So greater speed means if any molecule has greater speed, then definitely it will have greater kinetic energy, and if that kinetic energy is sufficient to overcome the intermolecular attraction, then definitely for that they will leave the surface of the liquid, and they will escape from that, and evaporation process will be possible. So you can explain actually most of the phenomena with the help of kinetic theory. So that's why kinetic assumptions of kinetic theory was acceptable, because it explains the behavior and other phenomena for the gases. So next question is also related to the kinetic theory and evaporation. I just tell you, as you know that in case of evaporation, we obtain the cooling effect. We see that when we feel sweating, and if that sweat evaporated, then at that time we feel that our we are feeling some cold. That time means cooling effect is produced after evaporation. So how can we explain it on the basis of kinetic theory? The next question, I'm not going to written that here, sorry, write that here. So I can explain that easily, as I have taken the case of evaporation, so that's why you should know that also. So as you know that in case of evaporation, I have just told you that uh, if a molecule have sufficient kinetic energy, then they can leave the surface of water, they can overcome the intermolecular attraction of other molecules, they can escape from, and they can move freely in the space. So and if greater speeded molecules are just leave the surface, then obviously the molecules which remained in water, that that has lower frequency, lower speed. So if they are at lower speed, then definitely it means that the speed of the water that is decreasing due to evaporation. So if the speed is decreasing, then you can say that with the help of kinetic theory, half v square, that is equal to 3 by 2 kt. With the help of this equation, you can easily tell that if speed is decreasing, it means that kinetic energy of the system is decreasing. So obviously simple, kinetic energy of the system is decreasing, and with decrease in kinetic energy, temperature of the system will decrease. So if temperature will decrease, then obviously cooling effect will occur. So that's why due to evaporation there is a cooling effect we can feel that time. So that's why after sweating we feel cooling, and also in case of water and sea ocean, so if evaporation rate is greater, then cooling effect can be produced more due to that. And also evaporation and that cooling is depends on the temperature of the surrounding. So greater will be the temperature, greater will be the evaporation, and greater will be the cooling of water. So that's why in case of summer, and we see that the water of wells and other ground surface, that are very cool, uh, because their temperature goes down due to evaporation. Because in case of evaporation, as you are seeing that the molecules which have greater speed, they are leaving the surface, they are evaporating, then obviously the molecules that are contained in the water, that will have the lesser speed, and speed is decreasing. That means that kinetic energy of the system is decreasing, means temperature is decreasing. So obviously there will be more cooling. So more will be the evaporation, more will be the cooling of water. So that's why in case of summer, we got cool water through the wells and other water systems. And also in case of winters, we have seen that they have warm water, because the evaporation rate is decreased in case of winters. So it means that the molecules which have greater kinetic energy, that will contained in the water, and due to greater kinetic energy, temperature of the system will increase, and finally we will able to get the warm water, hot water in the case of winters. So that's why the alternate effect can be obtained in case of winter and summer in wells and other water systems, as we are feeling that why surrounding is very hot, but we are getting cool water. What is the reason behind that? You can also explain that with the help of kinetic theory. So I think these regions are now clear to you. How can we understand that? What is the reason behind that we are getting cold water in case of summer, and we are getting hot water in case of winter? So what is the reason behind that? So I think that reason is totally clear to you. So then let's see some next questions again. These are also contain the question regarding to kinetic theory and other laws of ideal gases. So question is that on which factor does the average kinetic energy of the gas depend? Nature of the gas, its temperature, or its volume. So here three factors have been given: nature of the gas, temperature, and volume. So we have to explain why, means on which factor its kinetic energy of gas molecule that depends on. So with the help of kinetic theory you can explain it very easily, as the kinetic theory tells us that the is kinetic energy of average kinetic energy of gas molecule that is given by 3/2 kT. So here it depends on, we are seeing that the kinetic energy is depending on only temperature, because other factors are already constant. So if the change in temperature, kinetic energy can change. So obviously in these three factors only at temperature it will depend on, and on other factor it will be independent, it will not depends. So the question is, the answer is very simple. With the help of kinetic model you can explain it, that only temperature can affect the value of kinetic energy. Clear? So if this question is clear, again, because a number of topics I have explained on the basis of this formula and this theory, so that's why I'm not explaining it in very big way. The second question is that what happens where a compressed gas pushes a piston out and expand? Suppose that in any container there is compressed gas, already gas is compressed, and that is trying to push the piston and away, and that is trying to expand. So if compressed gas will push the piston, then in that case the velocity of the particle that is decreases. Here don't think that gas is expanding then velocity is increasing. Here the condition is given, that is the compressed gas. So the compressed gas is trying to move the piston, then in that case the velocity of molecules will decrease, and if velocity will decrease then kinetic energy will decrease, and if kinetic energy will decrease then temperature will decrease, and obviously here the cooling effect can be occur due to compressed gas. So you can also explain the cooling effect due to compressed gas with the help of kinetic theory, and again we are using the same formula to explain it, so you can explain with the help of kinetic theory easily. The third question is that though the velocity of air molecule is nearly 0.5 km per second, it is very less velocity of air, but the question is that the smell of scent spreads at the much slower rate. Why? When we are using perfume or scent, and we are seeing that within a few seconds we can means scent can spread over the space. So what is the reason? Because it is given that already air molecules travels with very small speed, means only 0.5 km per second speed they have, then how can they spread the scent in means all over the space surrounding to us? So the reason is that that can be explained with the help of Brownian motion. So as the molecules are possessing Brownian motion, zigzag motion, so when they carried the scent is open, and due to that molecules are colliding with other molecules, and through the zigzag motion the scent will simply spread over the space. Means they are not that is not spreading due to their diffusion or due to their movement, that is spreading due to zigzag motion of the particles. And as they have to make a greater displacement. So for that case, that in time the displacement is you can say that smaller. So here the value of speed is smaller in case of air molecule. The reason is very simple actually. Even the rate of their movement is that is smaller, but they are following zigzag motion. So due to zigzag motion, smell of scent spreads all over the space. So there can be, I have just told you that there can be number of questions related to these topics, related to kinetic model, and I think I have just explained 6-7 questions related to that. So you can understand easily with the help of kinetic theory these daily life effects, or why we are feeling, so why we are observing, so that can be effect means phenomena and application phenomena and behavior of gases can be easily, and other matter particles that can be easily understandable with the help of kinetic theory. So the next question is also related to the Brownian motion or collisions, and with the here the question is that how can the number of molecular collisions per unit time in a gas be increased? So if we want to increase the collisions of the particles so that diffusion rate can be increased, so if we want to increase diffusion and collisions means we want frequent collisions between the molecules, then what we have to do for that? So for the first case, as you know that the number of collisions or collision depends on the kinetic energy. It's very simple that if kinetic energy of the molecule will be greater, then obviously velocity of the speed of or velocity of the molecule that will be greater, and if speed that will be greater, then definitely they will collide frequently, a number of collisions will increase in that case, and that kinetic energy can be increased with increase in temperature, as I have told you just earlier. So with increase in temperature we can increase the number of kinetic energy, or in other word you can say that with increase in kinetic energy there can be increment of number of collision. So the first factor that can increase the number of collisions, molecular collision, that is temperature. The second factor is that if there will be a large amount of gas molecules or large number of gas molecules, then definitely rate of collision will increase in that case. Means if there are a large number of molecules, then molecules will be at the very close distance, and obviously that molecule will collide frequently due to their speed, and due to Brownian motion obviously due to zigzag motion they will collide frequently. So number of collisions can be increased with increase in molecular amount of gas molecules. With increase in amount of gas molecule we can also increase the molecular collision. The third factor which can increase the molecular collision, that is the decrement in volume. So if we decrease the volume of the gas, simple volume of the gas, then definitely molecules will not be the far apart, they will be at the closer distance, and due to that molecule will not have to travel long distance to collision. So number of collisions will be increased in that case also, because if molecules will be at closer distance, then within some seconds they will collide very rapidly with each other. So number of collisions can be increased with decrease in the volume. So the third factor is the volume that can affect the molecular collision. So with the help of all these three factors we can increase the number of collisions, we can increase the diffusion rate and other things. So these factors also are used in our daily life. So first, with the knowledge of this, we can increase the diffusion rate, and we can use the gases which have these types of properties. So I think all the concepts now that is clear to you. Today I have just taken a number of conceptual problems regarding to kinetic theory, and with the help of that I just wanted to explain you the concepts of kinetic theory, kinetic model, ideal gas law, and actually besides them there are a number of means a large number of conceptual problem that can be asked to you, regarding to Maxwell's speed of distribution law, regarding to law of equipartition energy, regarding to specific heats, regarding to degree of freedom. So a number of topics I haven't touched here. So today I have just taken the concepts regarding to kinetic theory, kinetic model, or ideal gas laws. So I have just taken them, and I just wanted to explain all the concepts regarding to that. I think there is no confusion at all in all that problems. So if all these things are clear, then today let's end the class here, guys. In next class we will see the next things. So let's end the class here. Thank you.